This is the Mercane Jubel. In a world where many electric scooters are very uninspired, the unique style of Mercane scooters will make you stop and look. They're the Korean scooter company behind the Batmobile of scooters, the Mercane Wide Wheel Pro, and now the Mercane Jubel. In this review, we reveal the 3 reasons that make this big-wheeled Mercane the best choice for 2 completely different types of riders. It's striking how different the Jubel is from its sibling. The Wide Wheel Pro is dual motor, the Jubel is single. The Wide Wheel Pro has suspension to smooth out the ride from its small diameter solid tires, where the Jubel keeps things smooth without suspension by using large 12-inch diameter air-filled tires. The Wide Wheel Pro has an unusually narrow deck, and the Jubel's deck is just huge. Depending on where you look, you'll see the same scooter listed as a 500-watt scooter or an 800-watt scooter, but our performance testing puts it at around 650 watts. The Jubel's ride quality is a good fit for newer riders who want to go fast safely or experienced riders who don't want to slow down for anything. Anyone who's reluctant to try electric scooters because of their small wheels has got to try a scooter with big wheels like these. 12-inch tires give the Jubel near bicycle level stability. On straight roads, I found myself riding at higher speeds than usual and also felt like I didn't need to slow down as much for rough pavement, speed bumps, or corners. You'll see this in the data when we get to the performance section. Do you like comfy rubber decks, or do you prefer the high traction of grip tape? Well, the Jubel's wide deck has both, and it feels really good. During the range test, I did most of the steering with my feet, sort of skateboard style, and there's a front toe bumper that keeps your feet off the charge port, and a super extended deck along the sides of the rear fender that you can use to shift your weight during hard stops. The overall riding style of the Jubel is smooth and fast. Some people will love this throttle because no matter what you do, the response is just so smooth. Others will find that they want a more aggressive start. I found myself sometimes giving it a second kick to get things moving when leaving a stop sign. The Jubel is fast for a single motor scooter. With an ESG certified top speed of 24.3 miles per hour, it's got more than enough speed to keep up with city traffic. Now, there are plenty of scooters this fast for the same price, but here's something that surprised us. It set a higher average speed during the range test than the Visette 10 Plus and came in just behind the Segway GT1. The reason is the Jubel is way faster around corners, and you can see it in the data here. The same corner I would take at 8 miles per hour on the Visette, I was routinely carving at 13 miles an hour or faster on the Jubel. The stability tricks you into riding faster in a straight line too, because you just don't feel the speed as much. This is something you'd never know from reading the specs. Despite the high average speed, the Jubel has good range, covering an ESG certified 23.8 miles of hard riding on our urban range test circuit. Scooters with big wheels tend not to be as quick uphill, so it was a pleasant surprise when it averaged 9 miles per hour up our steep 10% grade test hill from a standing start. You're unlikely to encounter a hill it won't climb. Braking's also very good, stopping from 15 miles per hour in just 11.1 feet. Drum brakes are inherently less grabby than discs, so you'll never put yourself over the handlebars with these brakes, but you will need strong hands to get maximum stopping power. There's also a disc brake at the rear wheel, and I've heard that there's regen braking as well, but we weren't able to detect any. The Jubel's cockpit is the same as the Wide Wheel Pro. In the middle is an LCD dashboard with a speedometer that's easy to read in any light. There's a battery gauge as well as a voltmeter, and just a couple buttons to switch from eco mode to sport mode and to turn on the headlights. There's no app, but there are P settings that let you turn on cruise control, enable zero start, and switch units of the display to kilometers or miles. P1 lets you turn off the top speed limit, but ours was already in the fastest mode right out of the box. The key ignition is kind of cool because it turns on immediately without pushing any other buttons, and it adds a little more security if you remember to take your keys out. The folding bars take a firm grip to fold, but on the plus side, when you're riding, they feel very solid. One odd detail is there's no steering stop. Be careful not to stress your brake cable by turning the handlebars too far. Fender protection is excellent, and the rear fender feels very well made. There's also an optional seat that bolts under the deck. We're demonstrating with the Wide Wheel Pro version, which has a different bolt pattern, but you get the idea. Aside from being big, the wheels are cool looking and feature split rims for easy tire changes. The battery is fairly large, so we wish the Jubel came with 2 charge ports instead of 1. As it is, the charge time is from 6 to 8 hours from empty to full. Big wheels and a big deck means it's going to be a tight squeeze getting the Jubel into most trunks, despite the folding handlebars. The stem latch is unusual. The Wide Wheel Pro is the only other scooter we've tested that uses this style. It's not as quick as other stem latches, and by the end of my 23-mile range test, it was ready to be snugged up, similar to the handlebars on a Visat 10 Plus. One thing I like is the way the stem pushes this pin down, so the stem automatically stays centered on the deck when folded. At an ESG certified 50 pounds, its weight is right on par with peers like the Dualtron Mini, the Inokim Quick 4, and it's 6 pounds lighter than its smaller looking sibling, the Wide Wheel Pro. I'd have no problem carrying it up a couple flights of stairs daily. Safety-oriented riders will like the big pothole-resistant wheels, the fact that the drum brakes won't put you over the bars, and a throttle that's smooth even when you aren't. It's also got a super cool-looking flush-mounted brake light in the rear fender and a high-mounted headlight for good visibility. Pros of the Mercane Jubel include excellent stability from 12-inch air-filled tires, a big, comfy, grippy deck, and eye-catching design. Cons include, for some riders, initial acceleration may feel too soft. It would benefit from a more modern stem latch, and larger wheels means it's less portable than other single-motor scooters. While you're doing your research, here are some other scooters with similar price and performance. Tor is lighter weight, more compact, and has a higher IP rating, but it has shorter range and is a slower hill climber. The Dualtron Mini has a much higher top speed and quicker acceleration, but braking distance is much longer and throttle ergonomics aren't as good. The Quick 4 Super is more portable and has quicker acceleration, but smaller diameter tires mean it's not as stable and it's more expensive for basically the same range and top speed. When I first unboxed the Jubel and saw the specs, I thought the most interesting thing about the scooter might be the way it looks, and honestly, that would have made this a difficult 8 minutes of video. But after a week of testing, I can see 3 compelling reasons to buy this scooter. Safety. Some people don't like the idea of small wheels on an electric scooter because they're afraid of doing this. The Jubel's wheels are nearly bicycle-sized. 2, safety again. No matter how rough your brake and throttle inputs, the Jubel will still give you a relatively smooth, predictable ride. And 3, at the opposite end of the spectrum, if your riding style is already smooth and fast, this scooter will make you even smoother and faster. And as a bonus, it's not just easy to ride, but it also really stands out in a crowd. If you're interested in the Jubel, please click the link in this video's description. It helps support our channel, and Fluid Free Ride is hands down the best place to buy one, offering the best after-sales support in the US. If you're interested in seeing more reviews like this one, remember to subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss our next video. Or you can also help support our channel by just watching more of our videos. Here come 2 of them now.